Welcome to my channel, Genius Brain Box. Class 7th Subject Social. Chapter number 2. Chapter name: Rivers and Rains. Part number 2. Total 35 questions. 15 seconds for each question. For each correct answer you will get 1 point. What was the height of the tidal waves during the 1977 cyclone? Option A 6 meters. Option B 10 meters. Option C 12 meters.
Correct answer is
Explanation. When 6-meter-high tidal waves swept across villages in the coastal area, killing 9,941 people. Approximately how many villages were devastated by the 1977 cyclone and subsequent floods? Option A 10. Option B 50. Option C 100.
Correct answer is
Explanation. At least 100 villages were washed away by the cyclonic storms and the ensuing floods. Which socioeconomic group is most vulnerable to the impact of cyclones and floods? Option A the wealthy. Option B the middle class. Option C the poor.
Correct answer is
Explanation. The sea coasts are lined with the huts of poor fisherfolk, and the lowlands of the towns and villages, which get flooded, are usually inhabited by the slums of the poor. Why are the poor more affected by water pollution after floods? Option A they lack access to clean water sources. Option B they are more likely to live in polluted areas. Option C they have weaker immune systems.
Correct answer is
Explanation. Only those with resources are able to arrange for safe bottled water to drink. What are some long-term consequences of cyclones and floods for the poor? Option A loss of life savings, loss of work, and permanent damage to land. Option B increased access to government aid and resources. Option C improved infrastructure and housing.
Correct answer is
Explanation. The life savings of most of the poor stored in the houses in the form of food, tools, cattle, small shops, vehicles, boats, nets, etc. are destroyed. How can governments mitigate the long-term impact of cyclones on farmers? Option A by providing free seeds and fertilizers. Option B by offering low-interest loans for rebuilding. Option C by relocating farmers to safer areas.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. To go back to their work, they need to buy all these again. What is the role of early warning systems in disaster management? Option A, to predict the exact location of cyclones. Option B, to prevent the formation of cyclones. Option C, to alert people about the possibility of cyclones.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. Today, with the installation of early warning systems by the government, it is possible to predict the possibilities of natural disasters like cyclones and floods. What should people do with their furniture during a cyclone warning? Option A, leave it outside to air out. Option B, put it on beds or tables. Option C, cover it with plastic sheets.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. Put furniture, clothing, appliances on beds or tables. What should people do with the power supply during a cyclone warning? Option A, leave it on. Option B, turn it off. Option C, use a generator.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. Turn off power. What should be done with sandbags during a cyclone warning? Option A, place them around doors and windows. Option B, put them in the toilet bowl and cover drain holes. Option C, use them to build a temporary shelter.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. Whether you leave or stay, put sandbags in the toilet bowl and cover all drain holes to prevent sewage backflow. What should people do if they encounter floodwaters? Option A, wade through them carefully. Option B, swim across them. Option C, avoid entering them.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. Avoid entering floodwaters. If you have to enter, wear proper protection for your feet and check the depth and current with a stick. Stay away from water with over knee-deep depth. What type of water should people drink during floods? Option A, tap water. Option B, bottled water. Option C, boiled water.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. Drink boiled water. What is the recommended way to purify water before drinking in rural areas during floods? Option A, boiling. Option B, adding chlorine tablets. Option C, filtering.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. Use halogen tablets to purify water before drinking. Ask village health worker for details. What should people be cautious of when entering floodwaters? Option A. Strong currents. Option B. Sharp objects. Option C. Snakes.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. Be careful of snakes. Snake bites are common during floods. What is the primary source of energy for the water cycle? Option A. Wind. Option B. The sun. Option C. The Earth's core.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. The sun's heat drives the water cycle by causing evaporation. What happens to water vapor as it rises in the atmosphere? Option A. It gets warmer. Option B. It gets cooler. Option C. It stays the same temperature.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. The atmosphere gets cooler at higher altitudes, causing water vapor to cool. What is the process called when water vapor changes into tiny water droplets? Option A. Evaporation. Option B. Condensation. Option C. Precipitation.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. Condensation is the process where water vapor changes into liquid water. What role do dust particles play in cloud formation? Option A. They repel water droplets. Option B. They attract water droplets. Option C. They provide a surface for water droplets to form.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. Dust particles act as condensation nuclei, providing a surface for water droplets to form. What happens to water droplets in clouds as they get heavier? Option A. They evaporate. Option B. They float higher. Option C. They fall as rain.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. When water droplets become too heavy, they fall as rain due to gravity. What are the two main types of monsoon winds in India? Option A. Northeast and southeast monsoons. Option B. Southwest and northwest monsoons. Option C. Southwest and northeast monsoons.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. The text mentions southwest and northeast monsoons. Which region of Telangana receives the most rainfall? Option A, northern and eastern parts. Option B, southern and western parts. Option C, central part.
Correct answer is.
Explanation. The northern and eastern parts of Telangana receive heavy rainfall.
What is the main cause of the Western Ghats receiving more rainfall than other areas? Option A, the Western Ghats are closer to the sea. Option B, the Western Ghats are at a higher altitude. Option C, the Western Ghats have more vegetation. Correct answer is.
Explanation.
The mountain ranges like the Western Ghats come in the path of rain-bearing winds and cause them to rise. Rising air cools down, and the water vapor condenses faster, which leads to rainfall. What are cyclones? Option A, low-pressure systems that form over land. Option B, high-pressure systems that form over the sea. Option C, low-pressure systems that form over the sea. Correct answer is.
Explanation.
From May to October, cyclones form in the Bay of Bengal. When do cyclones typically occur in the Bay of Bengal? Option A, January to April. Option B, May to October. Option C, November to February. Correct answer is.
Explanation.
From May to October, cyclones form in the Bay of Bengal. What is the retreating monsoon also known as? Option A, northeast monsoon. Option B, southwest monsoon. Option C, northwest monsoon. Correct answer is.
Explanation.
This is called the northeast monsoon or the retreating monsoon. What happens to a river's flow as it gets wider and deeper? Option A, it gets faster. Option B, it gets slower. Option C, it stays the same speed. Correct answer is.
Explanation.
As the river becomes bigger and broader, its flow gets slower. What is a delta? Option A, a landform created at the source of a river. Option B, a landform created where a river meets the sea. Option C, a landform created in the middle of a river's course. Correct answer is
Explanation.
thus, towards the end of its journey to the sea, the river forms a delta. Why do some rivers in Telangana dry up during the non-rainy season? Option A, they receive water from melting glaciers. Option B, they are fed by scanty rainfall. Option C, they are diverted for irrigation. Correct answer is
Explanation.
many rivers which start from the dry regions like Dindi, Manjira, Musi are fed by scanty rainfall. Which two major rivers form borders of Telangana? Option A, Krishna and Godavari. Option B, Godavari and Tungabhadra. Option C, Krishna and Penna. Correct answer is
Explanation.
take note that some parts of River Krishna form a border to the southern side, and Godavari forms a border to the northeastern side. What is a floodplain? Option A, the area where a river floods during the rainy season. Option B, the deepest part of a river. Option C, the highest point of a river's banks. Correct answer is
Explanation.
this valley is filled with sand and gravel. You will notice that there are no trees here. This is because every year when it rains heavily, this valley is filled with water, allowing no permanent trees or plants to grow here. This treeless bed is called the floodplain of the river. How does vegetation help regulate the flow of water into rivers? Option A, it speeds up the flow of water. Option B, it slows down the flow of water. Option C, it has no effect on the flow of water. Correct answer is
Explanation.
vegetation allows the water to flow slowly into the river, thus preventing sudden flooding. What is the primary goal of the Telangana government's massive tree plantation program? Option A, to increase timber production. Option B, to beautify the state. Option C, to control floods and prevent soil erosion. Correct answer is
Explanation.
the government is implementing the plantation of 230 crore saplings all over the state. How does deforestation contribute to the increased frequency and intensity of floods? Option A, it increases the absorption of rainwater. Option B, it reduces soil erosion. Option C, it leads to rapid runoff of rainwater. Correct answer is
Explanation.
in recent years, there has been large-scale felling of trees, and hence, the forest cover in the Himalayas has reduced considerably. As a result, whenever there is heavy rainfall, the rainwater rapidly flows down the slopes of the mountains and fills up the floodplain of the river. What is the significance of the 1977 cyclone in India's history? Option A, it was the first recorded cyclone in India. Option B, it was the least destructive cyclone in India. Option C, it was the worst cyclone to hit the east coast of India. Correct answer is
Explanation.
the worst cyclone hit the east coast in November 1977. How can communities prepare for cyclones and floods? Option A, by building houses on stilts. Option B, by creating early warning systems. Option C, by stockpiling food and water. Correct answer is
Explanation.
keep an emergency kit ready at home. These kits should contain important papers, some food, some money, and emergency telephone numbers.
Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel and comment below that how many points you got.